An episode that's very near and dear to my heart. I feel it deep in my soul, and I think you're gonna enjoy it. I'm not gonna tell you exactly where I fucked around, but I will say it was basically in my own backyard. There was chuffing involved, a very like if you know, you know. And I picked up a non-human turd. I didn't raw dog it this time. I didn't because I was given a glove. Follow us at NGL with Kylie for the official announcement soon. And next up, an absolutely absurd edition of places Kylie has no business being, because this past week, not gonna lie, with Kylie Kelce, had absolutely no business being ranked the #2 top new show of 2025 on Apple Podcast charts. We were #2 behind Good Hang with Amy Poehler. They're the top new show of the year. And I cannot emphasize enough, I speak for everyone on our NGL team, we will gladly take second place to Amy Poehler all fucking day. All day. I can't even fathom that. Like being on the list, crazy. Being second, like being right next to, we're basically touching Amy Poehler. We're basically friends. I think that's called girl math. So shout out to Good Hang and all the other top shows, including the other podcast. Jason and Travis's episode with Taylor was the #3 most listened to podcast episode of the entire year. If it had released a little earlier in the year, I firmly believe they would have. Like the turkey. Let's be clear. That episode has been out for maybe 3 months. And I firmly believe that had it been on the internet earlier in the year, it would have blown everyone else out of the water. I mean, to be clear, it did. It fucked up some records. But that's because when you got 3 amazing people just getting together to chitty chat, that's what happens. Yeah. Squad. All right, moving on. It's time for my favorite segment. You know what's fucked up? Hey, you know what's fucked up? The utter disrespect for Thanksgiving in this country. That's right, I said it. Let Thanksgiving have her moment. Don't you skip over Thanksgiving right on to Christmas. Cut it the fuck out. Honestly, if I have to see one more person putting up their Christmas tree before Thanksgiving even fucking gets here, I swear to God, I'm gonna flip the Thanksgiving table. No, I won't. No, I won't. Because I'm not taking down the green bean casserole because y'all are fucking nuts. Here's the deal. Last night, Wyatt said to me, can we watch Home Alone? And I said, next week. The only movie in our house that has broken the barrier is The Grinch. And everybody knows that. Because I'm not pissing off Benny. That one scares me. She demands The Grinch. We watch The Grinch. Okay? And I love The Grinch because it gives the new Grinch. I love the old Grinch with Jim Carrey. I also love the new Grinch. I think it's fun. The soundtrack's fire. That does it for You Know What's Fucked Up. And my do's and don'ts of Thanksgiving, brought to you by Amazon. Moving on, as is tradition in these solo episodes, let's get to some of the real ones' most burning questions in a Thanksgiving edition of Ask Me Some Things, because Ask Me Anything is far too open-ended. Yep, that's right. You guys needed boundaries. Ask Me Some Things is brought to you by ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Speaking of hiring and really jobs, around the Thanksgiving holiday, you know that you're cooking, taking care of your kids, working, taking care of everything else in life. It's a lot. Way more than a full-time job. So I want to shout out to all of the parents, grandparents, caretakers, guardians who are just hustling and getting the job done.
Travis Kelce had always thrived in the eye of the storm. The roar of the crowd, the weight of expectation, the blinding shimmer of stadium lights. These were his elements, his comfort zone. Yet, nothing in his high-octane NFL career could prepare him for the tidal wave of emotion that welled up inside him when he learned his mother, Donna Kelce, was meeting with Andrea Swift to discuss something that until now had seemed like a distant, glittering possibility: Taylor Swift's wedding. For weeks, the whispers had grown louder. The world was hungry for news of Travis and Taylor, the tight end and the superstar singer-songwriter. Two universes colliding under the relentless gaze of fans and media alike. But beyond the headlines and hashtags, Travis found himself caught in a quieter, more personal storm. He remembered the first time he told his mother about Taylor, the nervous brightness in his voice, the way Donna's eyes had narrowed, searching his face for the truth of his feelings. He remembered her gentle nod, the way she squeezed his hand and told him that real love was worth every risk. Now, as Donna prepared to meet Andrea Swift, Travis felt simultaneously exhilarated and terrified. He knew his mother's wisdom, her warmth, her ability to read a room with a single glance. He trusted her, but he also knew how much this meeting meant. It wasn't just about two women exchanging pleasantries over tea. It was the merging of two families, two histories, two sets of hopes and fears. He imagined Donna and Andrea, both fiercely protective of their children, sitting across from each other, measuring every word, every pause. In his mind, the conversation took on a cinematic quality. Donna would talk about Travis as a boy, how he'd scraped his knees on the playground, how he'd never backed down from a challenge, how he'd learned to lead by loving, not by shouting. Andrea would share stories of Taylor's early songwriting, the quiet afternoons spent plucking at guitar strings, the dreams scribbled in notebooks. They would both laugh about the chaos of fame, the surreal moments when the world seemed to shrink and expand at the same time. But beneath the surface, Travis knew there would be a current of anxiety. Would Donna and Andrea see eye to eye on what mattered most? Would they be able to protect their children from the glare of publicity, the pressure to perform? Would they find common ground in the desire for a wedding that was both magical and meaningful? As the day of the meeting approached, Travis found himself growing more introspective. He replayed old conversations with his mother, searching for clues to her mood. He scrolled through photos of her at his games, cheering louder than anyone, her face shining with pride. He thought about the times she had comforted him after a loss, reminded him that resilience was the true mark of a champion. He wondered if she was nervous, too. When Donna finally met Andrea, the world kept spinning, oblivious to the significance of that quiet gathering. The two women greeted each other not as celebrities, but as mothers. They shared stories of scraped knees and heartbreaks, of late-night rehearsals and last-minute touchdowns. They talked about traditions, about what made a wedding sacred, about the importance of family and privacy. Donna confessed her fears. Would Travis be able to balance love and career? Would he be the man Taylor needed? Andrea admitted to her own anxieties. Could Taylor truly find happiness in a world that never stopped watching? Could she trust that Travis would protect her? In that moment, something shifted. They laughed, they cried, they found solace in each other's vulnerability. It wasn't about guest lists or floral arrangements or designer gowns. It was about two mothers wanting the best for their children, searching for reassurance in a world that so rarely offered it. Meanwhile, Travis waited for news, his heart pounding in his chest. When Donna called him afterward, her voice was soft but steady. She told him about Andrea's kindness, her strength, her fierce love for her daughter. She told him that, more than anything, she believed in him, believed in the love he and Taylor had found. For Travis, the wave of emotion was overwhelming. He thought about everything he'd sacrificed for football, everything he'd learned about grit and grace. He realized that this was the real championship, building a life with someone who understood him, choosing love in the face of uncertainty. The world would go on speculating, the headlines would keep spinning. But Travis knew that the most important things would always happen offstage, in the quiet spaces where families came together and hearts were laid bare. As whispers of wedding bells began to ring louder, Travis Kelce stood at the center of a new kind of storm, one that promised not just glory, but a lifetime of meaning. And for the first time, he felt ready for it all.